All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Much love to you all. Not quicker. Welcome in, man. Yeah, we do have some pretty ugly price action on the charts. We'll go through everything today. Samuel S., welcome in, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding, and I appreciate you, bro. Quiles, welcome in. Yo, what's up to you, man? Yeshwant, much love to you. Olaferi, yes. Hello, folks. Looks like third wave in development. I agree, man. And we're going to discuss this in just a second. Steel and Stone, what is up, man? Welcome in. Time Attack, much love to you. Thank you for smashing the like button. Guys, please smash the like button if you get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream today. And thank you for modding for me, Time Attack. Jafiel, what's up, man? Good to see you in here as always. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for being part of the Telegram as well, being so active in there. Appreciate you all. Glasshopper77, good afternoon to you and welcome in. And TXRX, welcome in. LostX, welcome in. Warthog Thunderbolt, welcome in. Everybody, thank you all so much for joining today. So, guys, Bitcoin is dumping, and we were actually expecting this dump around the macro range point of control and around our anchored VWAP from the all-time high. And I talk about these anchored VWAPs quite a bit. Let me go ahead and turn on the macro range real quick. I'm going to turn off this 10-week long range. And what we were talking about primarily last week, a lot of people were getting really, really bullish, especially in the last leg up of this push to the upside, right into macro resistance, talking about coming up to hitting new all-time highs or coming up to, 110K. And I was just saying, I was a little bit more hesitant. First off, I was expecting move up to the POC based off of us holding the value area low of our macro range. Like zooming out to the daily time frame, we just saw some wickage past it. And after wicking past it and hitting those 80.5K lows, we were able to hold the back test of that twice. And because of that, we were expecting maybe a bigger complex corrective move coming up to test that point of control, to actually bearishly backtest it to see if we would reject once Bitcoin got to fair value over the year of 2025. We came up to fair value. We came up to that anchored VWAP and we rejected. Now, remember, with an anchored VWAP, if you're in a bearish trend, the anchored VWAP is the volume weighted average price. It's the average price, but it's based off volume. I've talked to you guys about this a lot in my live streams and on my channel, how volume and liquidity are the two most important things in the market. So when you come up to a heavy volume resistance like this, and if the downtrend overall is going to continue, then you would expect to reject from that volume resistance and start to impulse to the downside. Also, we had lost our key Fibonacci channel that we had been in for the entire bull market that gave us almost every major swing position in the entire bull market. We had finally lost that channel for the first time in 2.5, 3 years, and we were forming what looked like to me this entire time a corrective range below before possibly dumping lower. And the reason why I was still looking for lower is because we did backtest that range, that Fibonacci trend 3 times, and we rejected. Yes, we made a higher low, but that was just to kind of extend this correction, make it a more complex correction. We also got that green dot on the weekly chart where I showed you guys this fractal. Over the past 2 weeks, I've shown you guys this fractal of the last time we got a big green dot on the weekly time frame on Market Cipher B. It gave us a few weeks of a raise in a very similar channel, very, very similar channel that we're seeing now off of a weekly green dot before ultimately making a lower high and breaking down to new lows. And this was almost expected in some ways. I was looking for this rejection, looking for a push to the downside. So is this the start of a much larger dump to the downside? I have to say it is a possibility. Another thing that we were looking at as a bearish signal as we were coming up to backtest that very key resistance of the point of control of the anchored VWAP, we were making bearish divergences on the chart on the daily time frame. We were making bearish divergences on NAMI, on the money flow. And I've talked about this a lot on my channel, but my prime setup to look for a position is when Market Cipher B has momentum bearish divs, the money flow is topping out and starting to roll over, or at least topping out, and NAMI has the confirmed bear divs already on the daily time frame and money flow bear divs on the daily time frame. So we were looking at potentially a harsh rejection from this area. Now, if we wanted to see a harsh rejection from this area, we wanted to see impulsive price action to the downside, not more corrective price action, but we wanted to see impulsive price action with an increased amount of volume coming in. And yesterday, I made an update video saying, okay, guys, we got the rejection. We got a small sideways range. Let me zoom in onto the hourly. I'm going to show you guys this on the hourly chart. We first got that small push down, what was like a contracting diagonal, or it was that channel that we were seeing, but it was a 5-wave move down, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-wave move down. Because we started the move down with 5 waves, we could say, okay, this could either be an ABC correction, ABC correction, where we're going to hold a higher low and continue to push up to make new local highs, or it's going to be the start of a bigger 5-wave impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But either way, the first wave to the downside in an impulse or an A wave to the downside in a corrective move, the sub count is going to be a 5-wave move. And we saw that sub count of a 5-wave move here. So yesterday, well, first off, over the weekend on Sunday, we had a pretty harsh crash to backtest that 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. And it was the backtest of our 10-week long range value area high. So if I throw that on there, you can see it was the backtest of our value area high of our range that we had been in. Let me zoom out to the 4 hours so we can get a better look. This range, since we bounced from 80.5K, this entire corrective and sideways and up range that we've been seeing, that I said weeks ago, by the way, we were likely to form a longer extended range up in this area. I can actually go back to the live stream. Before we even hit this for the first time, I said that it was probable that we form a sideways range here. And if you guys remember, I drew a square like this, a diagonal square in here where we would form that range. And unfortunately, guys, we are losing the value area high. Unfortunately, if you're a bull, we're losing the value area high of the range, and we are continuing the dump to the downside. So in yesterday's video, I talked about this corrective move here, a potential corrective move from the A wave highs to the A wave lows to the B wave highs, or a wave 1, and this is a wave 2, and now we're dropping in a wave 3. And I turned on that yesterday in the video. I turned on the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction, and you can see on Coinbase, we pretty much hit directly into that 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction. We very, very slightly front ran it, but pretty much came right down to that area. So, and yesterday we saw that small push up, and we were, as I was making the video, we were literally right in here yesterday as I was making the video. I said, guys, this is either going to turn out one or two ways. And at the end, I did give my bias of bearishness of actually seeing a break back into the range, but we needed more information on the charts. So we were looking at either this was going to be a 3-wave corrective move, bouncing from the bullish retest of the value area high and the 1-to-1 Fibonacci, and then we were going to have one last impulse up to take out your local highs, maybe into that 98.5K 0.5 Fibonacci, for then a now impulse to the downside, or we were done and we were going to start to impulse down. And I said yesterday in the video, guys, it is bad that we are rejecting from our 382 Fibonacci. So if we pull our Fibonacci retracement from the highs of wave 2 to the lows of wave 3, or to the lows of Sunday's lows, and we turn on that 382 Fibonacci, where did we reject yesterday? On the small bounce. We rejected straight from that 382 Fibonacci. And in a wave 4, this is the reason why yesterday I said, guys, we are rejecting from this. It is likely that we do make new lows. And I even posted this in the Telegram to you guys yesterday as it was happening. As we were rejecting from this 382, I let you guys know there was a small intraday channel that was forming. And I said, if we break this channel down, it's likely we come take the lows out. And we did. We broke this little intraday channel, this corrective move, dead cat bounce up. And so we were looking at this as being a potential wave 4 before seeing a wave 5. Now, overall, I have to say, we're pushing down pretty harsh from here. And we were looking initially yesterday at this being a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5. But now I have to say that because this push down was just a few dollars more than this push down here, your third wave cannot be the shortest wave in an Elliott impulse. Sometimes you can have an extended first wave, then you have a 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can have an extended first wave, or sometimes you have this blow off top with an extended fifth wave where you have a normal 1, normal 2, a normal 3, which is longer than your 1, you get a small retracement in a 4, but you get that super long 5 that is often longer or as long as your third wave. But the hard rule in Elliott wave impulses is that your third wave cannot be the shortest wave. And in this move down, if we're counting this as a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, a wave 5 here, this third wave would be the shortest wave. So it is invalidated this count to the downside, even though we did reject from our fourth wave target precisely, and we are making new lows in what could be considered a fifth wave. But because of that price action, we have to now even go with a more bearish count, guys. And because of that, we now have to look at this as a multiple 1-2 impulse, where this is a wave 1, that's your primary wave 1, your primary wave 2. Now we have to say this is a secondary wave 1 with a secondary wave 2, or an internal wave 1, internal wave 2, and we're in the third wave down. And then after the third wave down, we expect to see some 4-5s coming in. Because we have 2 1-2s, we will expect to see some 4-5s coming in. Another thing I want to talk about on the higher time frames is we did talk about the larger move in a C wave, in a C wave to the downside. And I showed this to you guys on Jason's video, on that collab video we made. But I have been expecting this move down to come down to take out our 74K lows, to make new lows below 80K. And we were looking at at first we were looking at a double 1-2, like a 1-2, 1-2, 3, and then we were looking for some 4-5s. But that was on the Coinbase chart where we did not come down to 101K on that October 10th dump. But on most charts, that October 10th dump dumped down to 101 or 102K. So we were looking at the possibility of counting an impulse as a wave 1 here, a wave 2 here, a wave 3 here, a wave 4, which could come up between the 0.382 and the 0.5. That's, by the way, why I was looking at 98.5 as a potential rejection target, because you can see 98,500 was your wave 4 target for that rejection, 98,500. So if this entire corrective range over the last 10 weeks was a wave 4, now we expect to, now that we're rejecting from key resistance, break down in a fifth wave, overall completing our larger impulse on the daily time frame to the downside. And the target for me for this impulse is to come take out your A wave lows, which is 74K. I am not saying that it's going to come straight down there in 1 or 2 days or a week. It's not going to do a straight drop. We will see bounces along the way. We will see some good support levels and probably some multi-$1,000 bounces from this. But I expect us to continue pushing down and potentially even come down to 70K, where our key support, pretty much our most entire support on the chart is between 70K and 68K. And by the way, now, if we look at this as a 5-wave impulse to the downside, let me just make this a little bit more professional here. If we look at our Elliott wave count, 1, 2, 3 here, 4 here, in our fifth wave, your fifth wave often drops between the 1.236 and the 1.618 Fibonacci extinction. Now, that is how you get that, is you take your Fibonacci retrace from the lows of wave 4 to the highs of wave 4, and you just turn on your targets for a wave 5, which is between the 1.236 and the 1.618. So if we look at those fifth wave targets, these are our overall macro targets where we could see this overall fifth wave end to the downside. And to me, look at this 1.618, which oftentimes does get hit more than the 1.236. The fifth wave will often come down to that 1.618. And if that is the case, 69 to 70K is the most important support level on the chart, where it might take us 2 months to get down there. It might take us a month and a half to get down there, but we might expect a drop, a harsh drop to the downside with daily bearish dips confirmed, with on the weekly time frame at the highs, triple drive of weekly bear divs confirmed, money flow draining out of the asset as the year formed, local triple drive of bear divs, money flow bear divs on NAMI, triple drive of it on the weekly time frame. Now that we've seen a few weeks of relief from that green dot on the weekly time frame, that few weeks of relief, last time that happened, you can see here, last time that green dot happened, we had about 63 days, so about 2.5 months, or just over 2 months of a relief bounce before ultimately dropping to the downside. And if we look at what we're seeing right now from the green dot, it gave us a very comparable move of 56 days, a 56-day push to the upside, and about the same percentage push to the upside as well. If we look at that percentage of a push to the upside, let me see, let me grab that again. This was a 42% push to the upside. So what definitely wasn't that strong of a push to the upside. This was a almost 22%, 21.5% push to the upside. But we are starting to see that move to the downside. And now the question is this move to the downside just getting started? Are we about to really start to kick in on some bearish momentum to the downside and continue dropping to take out not only the 80.5K lows, but potentially our 74K lows? We are still within a range, guys. We are still within our 9-week long range, our 10-week long range here, and nothing has really changed except for we attempted to break out of the range. We rejected from a macro resistance, and now that we're falling back inside the range, and if we close today's daily candle back inside of this range, it is confirming reacceptance back within this fair value. And that does mean a possibility of a move to the bottom of the range, the value area low, which is coming in right around $86,000. In yesterday's video, I also showed you guys our most key level of liquidity, where the most liquidity within the last 2.5, 3 months is residing, is right down into that value area low at $86,000. And that's why yesterday I drew this box out for you. Let me go get rid of these things here. I drew this box out here where we have the liquidity grab from those lows that happened over the holiday week stretch, that week between Christmas and New Year's, where not a lot of people were trading. We created a lot of higher lows on the chart, just barely higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, before pushing to the upside come the new year. But the thing is, these higher lows in here left quite a liquidity trail, because if you longed here, your stop is below this low. If you longed here, your stop is below this low. If you longed here, your stop is below this low. So it created a whole lot of liquidity resting below all these semi-equal lows down below. And it just happens to be where the bottom of our 10-week long range is, where if we do impulse to the downside, we could be seeing an aggressive move down to $86,000 before seeing maybe a relief bounce. And by the way, that could just be the start. All of this move down to 86K could be a wave one of a much larger impulse before retracing up to your golden pocket, which would be right around the value area high, and then seeing a wave three to break down, maybe taking out your 80.5K lows, seeing a swing failure pattern of those 80.5K lows to get a wave four dead cat bounce before seeing one more push down to take out your 74K lows. So this could be the start of a much larger impulse to the downside that lasts weeks or even months, guys. It is not looking good for the bulls. This rejection on this bearish backtest and the rejection from the anchored VWAP, our bearish anchored VWAP, is not good for the bulls. All right, let me check the chat here. I also do want to go into the order flow. Let me read the chat here real quick, and I'm going to go into the order flow and show you why today's push down has been a relatively strong push to the downside and why we could be continuing with this momentum to the downside. Let's see here. Yeah, love how Sailor bought $2 billion worth of Bitcoin. I know. You know what, Lost X? Sailor always buys the top. That's the craziest thing. He always buys at the top of pumps, not at the bottom. Like, not when we were chopping around down here for a bit. He waits until we pump $20,000, or $10,000, and then he buys. It's just crazy to me. I wanted to add another significant amount to my short. What price would add at? Well, that's a good question, because I do want to compound my short position as well. Remember, I shorted around this golden pocket right in here at $97,200, but I'm like 90% out of that trade. So I am waiting for a bigger bounce. So what we want to look for is this may a 1, 2. All of this could be a 3, or we could look at that double 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we're in a third wave. So I'm personally waiting for this impulse to finish before getting a nice bounce up, and then I will add to it on this bounce up, which could be a week from now. It most likely is going to be sometime next week. But I want to wait for this impulse to the downside to finish, and then upon the relief bounce, at our key resistances, and we'll have to look at those, look at naked daily points of control, look at golden pockets, look at value area highs. I will be willing to add to my short and compound that short in this general area. But because we are dumping so aggressively today, we do not want to compound when we're way down here, especially if you entered within this upper range here. So good question, and we will just have to wait on that, but I will keep you updated on when I do add to my short position, a compound, a swing short position. Okay. I would love to get some Tau under 200. Yeah, we'll look at Tau. Glasshopper, thank you. We'll look at Tau for sure. We're going to look at some of the altcoins today, guys. Solana is just playing out so magnificently. It's been great. It's been really wonderful to trade. Made some good trades off that already in the past couple of weeks. And this range on Solana has paid me handsomely because we shorted this high here. We longed right down here. We shorted the liquidity grab of this high here. Then we looked for, I think I longed it in this general area once we started to reclaim. I think it was actually like in here. And then took profit at 147. And also we looked to short this area right up here, that swing failure pattern of the range high into our logarithmic golden pocket. And earlier today, I did take a small loss on a long attempt from $128. But it's okay because I'm still short from higher and I'm still looking to compound or to hedge a potential swing long in this area. And if we break that area down, then I'll look to compound my swing short that I'm already in. So, but yeah, good altcoin trading, guys. Some really good trading here. Now, Kara, welcome in. Thank you for being here. You were sounding bullish too. I was, yes, bullish locally. I was sounding bullish locally because I expected as soon as we held this value area low, I was expecting a move over the last 2 weeks to come up to 96.5 to 98.5K because 96.5K was that macro POC on Coinbase. If we look at that range, that macro range on Coinbase, and I remember CJ keeps coming in here and asking me, hey, do you still think 78K is probable? I kept telling him, yes, I do, but I think we're going to move up to hit the POC first. And we did finally move up to hit the POC, and we even pushed a little bit past the POC, hitting the anchored VWAP, and overall rejecting from this general area of resistance between 96.5 and 98.5K. And even yesterday, I was saying with that small three-wave corrective move backtesting the value area high, there was still a possibility as far as probabilities go that we could have came up and took it out and made another local high. But I said yesterday, we have to wait for more data on the chart. If we start to lose this, then, and I said in the video yesterday, if you go watch it, I said, if we take out Sunday's lows before hitting our golden pocket at like 94.2, then we're likely to continue a much larger dump to the downside. And that's what's happening. Okay. Jason Casper, on the other hand, was extremely bullish. At least Divine points out where, well, and you know what, you guys, Jason is a really, really great trader, and he had a reason to be bullish. So Jason is a technical trader, and he is very good at technically trading with Market Cipher B. And primarily he was looking at that green dot push, giving us historically a 30-40% push to the upside. And he was also looking at just the range. Because we held the value area low of the range, he was saying there's a possibility we could get a move to the value area high. But if you actually watch his video from a couple days ago, he said, if and only if we can flip this area to support. We didn't. So he had conditions on being bullish for new all-time highs, and those conditions were not met. And as a trader, he actually did short right up in this area too. So his bias, I do have to say, he was a little bit more bullish than me overall. And, you know, when we had that collab, I have largely my macro time frame analysis is very aligned with his, but I was not expecting a move quite as high or another new all-time high to come in relatively soon. By the way, guys, speaking of the collab with Jason, so we did 2 videos on last Wednesday. We made a video for my YouTube channel and of me interviewing him and getting his perspective on the macro price action. And then, of course, he did a video for his video where he kind of interviewed me on what I expect for that macro price action. You can see that Jason's video of me is posted. Well, this was my first time doing a collab stream over Discord with Jason. I have really nice streaming equipment, but I did not record his audio. So I actually have that video posted. It's just unlisted. interview with Jason didn't pick up his audio. So guys, I'm really sorry about that. I've already talked to him about redoing it. We are going to schedule to redo that analysis video, a short 15, 20-minute video for you guys. But that's why you haven't seen the collab video with Jason. My bad on that. That was my first time kind of dealing with doing a collab stream through Discord. So I was not fully prepared, or I thought I was. My streaming audio equipment was even showing that it was picking up his voice, but it didn't record in the actual video. So I apologize for that, guys. All right. Weekly doing a bearish engulfing candle. Yes, now it is only Tuesday. So the weekly candle is right now doing a bearish engulfing candle, but we could see a lot happen before the end of the week. So, but today, what's going to be important today, guys, if we close the daily candle back inside this value area, pretty much below $92,600, we are going to see more continued downside. Whether that is, I shouldn't say we are going to, I should say it's highly probable, a very high probability we do. But we will see bounces along the way. It's not going to come straight down. It's not going to nuke straight down. Maybe a black swan event allows that to nuke straight down. Let's see. Bitcoin is SFPing. Okay, we're getting a local SFP on Bitcoin right now. I want to see how this reacts here, guys. Let me go ahead and get rid of this because we're coming down to SFP. These lows from the 8th of January and 89,000. Now, we don't have a lot of support. So yet at the beginning of this week on Monday, we confirmed a new weekly support level. And you can see earlier today, we tried to bounce from that weekly, but we failed. We rejected from the VWAP. And I've told you guys this over and over on the channel with scalp traders and intraday trading. If you're in a pretty bearish trend throughout the day, you bounce from a local support and you come up to VWAP and reject, you're most likely to make new lows on the day. And because we rejected that VWAP earlier, we were expecting that break of the weekly and to continue pushing down. You can even see on the day's price action, we broke down past the weekly, bearishly backtested the weekly earlier today, a few hours ago, and now we're continuing to the downside. So this weekly was not able to hold. And really the next level of support, guys, the next good level of support is between $87,800 or $87,900, let's say, $87,900 and between $87,500. But $87,500 is a big support level. Let me zoom back out to the hourly chart. So 87,500, you can see we do have a weekly level, first of all, at 87,877. We have a naked daily point of control at 87,492. So essentially 87,500. We have our 10-week long or our 56-day range point of control there. So 2-month long point of control there. We have our naked weekly point of control there as well. And naked and a daily level. And we have a daily level right at 87,500. So pretty much 87,500 is the big level for me. We might continue grinding to the downside until we see that 87,500 hit. And we might even, let's just say we're counting overall wave 1, wave 2. All of this could be a wave 3 coming down to 87.5 where we bounce, but only to come up between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci before ultimately rolling over and coming down and probably taking out that key liquidity that is resting below us at 86,000. And once we do that, that would be the value area low of our 56 long day range. We might see a bigger bounce here to make a 3-wave corrective move, making a lower high at the golden pocket. And that would be all of this move down here from our $98,000 high to $86,000 could all be a wave 1 before retracing to the golden pocket and a wave 2 before seeing a much larger wave 3 come in on the daily time frame. So that will take some time. We can diagnose that as next week and the week after that as more data develops on the charts. But, our first real sign of bearishness today would be closing back inside our volume profile, back below $92,600. Is it me or is his screen always dimmed and gray? No, it's not. I have a gradient background, so I don't have a black background on my charts. It's called a gradient background. I just personally like the way it looks better than a gray background. So that might be what you're looking at, Quality Crypto, but I just can't go with the black, man. It's a little bit too much for me. Okay, Chad P, welcome in, man. And Quality Crypto, welcome in as well. Thank you for being here. Looks like it's going to get poopier. Yeah, poopier, poopy doopy, man. Let's see it, you know. Jesus Save 77, God bless you. Thank you so much for being here and appreciate the comment, man. Always happy to see you. Okay, let's see. We'll look at Tau. Don't let me forget, guys. I want to look at Tau. But right now, really quickly, first off, I'm going to go through the partners of the channel. Let's get the partners out of the way real quick. That way we can get into the TA. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need to sign up is an email and a password. And if you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description below, you can get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts if you deposit some large amounts into the exchange. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, and they have some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. If you deposit just $100, you can get a 50% deposit bonus, which is the highest I've seen of any exchange for $100. And then, of course, various 20% and 10% deposit bonuses, depending on if you deposit these certain amounts into the exchange. Also, I have partnered with BYDFI to create that Telegram community. The Telegram community is a private community, but it's really free to get in. To get into that Telegram community, all you have to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link in the description, and then deposit $100 into the exchange. That $100 is your money to trade with. You're just using the exchange to trade it. And that's where kind of the incentive comes in for both of us. You will get the discounts on the trading fees. You can, if you KYC level 1, you can get the 50% deposit bonus. And then you can also get access to the Telegram where I post the updates. Earlier today, I posted the update on Bitcoin breaking down. I posted the update yesterday about rejecting from the 382 and most likely coming to make new lows. I also posted the update about Solana hitting the swing failure pattern into the log golden pocket at 148 and seeing a bigger drop to 124, 123. So if you're interested in joining that Telegram, all you need to do is sign up with BYDFI, deposit the $100. Once you've done that, click the Telegram link in the description of this video. And once you're in that Telegram channel, type in /verify in your user ID, which is going to be right up here. It's probably going to be a string of letters and numbers for you guys, but /verify user ID. Once you've done that, you're in. And then once you're in, guys. It's free to join. I just, really nice private community we're trying to build. We have some really great people in there. Ja feels really active in there. Appreciate so many of you guys in there. And great traders, all doing different kinds of trades. Some scalp traders, some more long-term traders, but it's been great. You can also tag me in the general chat, ask me questions about a certain coin, or ask me, just about price action in general. So if you're interested, Telegram link and BYDFI link are in the description below. Second, we have NAMI Trading. NAMI is the next partner of the channel. That is this indicator down here, which is a momentum and money flow indicator. And I use it for confirmations on my trades. Like, guys, right now, we are starting to develop some 1-hour bull divs. You can see lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves. Now, our money flow is still looking a bit bearish here, but what we want to see when I'm getting into a trade, as we're coming down to our key levels, first off, I wait until I get to my levels, but as we're coming down to my level, now I'm going to come on to NAMI and I'm going to look to see if I have confirmation. So I want to see bear divs down here. I want to see the money flow curving to the upside, or I want to see bull divs on the money flow. So for me, it helps me know when to enter and exit trades. It's been a very invaluable tool to maximize my profits, to stay out of bad trades, or to get out of trades early when it's kind of failing. So I have partnered with NAMI Trading to get you guys 50% off lifetime subscription. So if you're interested, the discount code is Divine50 and the affiliate link is in the description below. If you're interested in purchasing NAMI, that's there for you. Lastly, we have Bybit and MEXC, two other exchanges I partner with. They're both great exchanges, both have tons of liquidity and offering some incentives for you to get in. Bybit's offering up to $30,000 in futures trading bonuses, and MEXC is offering a 10% initial deposit bonus up to $1,000. Okay, that is it for the partners. Let's get back to the TA. And right before I came on live, I posted in the Telegram about what is happening with the total market cap right now. So first off, I want to talk to you guys about, we kind of had a sideways range on the total market cap. Now on the daily time frame, this high looks insignificant, but if we zoom in here, let's just zoom into the 2-hour chart. You can see that was a significant high right before we created a bunch of higher lows in here, this liquidity trail right in here, before ultimately seeing an aggressive dump to the downside. So those lower highs in here had a lot of liquidity resting above them. So when I saw that, I marked out that high that little dead cat bounce high right before the bigger drop. And we were looking at a sideways range, essentially, between those highs and the lows that we saw in here. And also, we were coming down to the bottom of our macro pitchfork. Now, this pitchfork structure on Bitcoin has been broken to the downside, but for all of 2025, this pitchfork has guided me. Actually, I remember last January of 2025, as we were coming up to the highs in here, I was telling everyone I was not only shorting Bitcoin, taking profits on altcoins. I got so much shit for it because a lot of people said altcoin season was just about to start. You're an idiot for selling. Well, we did end up rejecting from the top of that pitchfork and dropped almost all the way to the bottom. But this pitchfork has been invaluable, and looking at the overall bullish trend for the year of 2025, and now we're dropping down to the bottom of this pretty macro trend, pretty important trend for the total market cap. Now, we've been holding for the last 56 days, we've been holding the bottom of the pitchfork. You can see many tests of the bottom of the pitchfork, but overall, it's been holding it. It has not broken to the downside like Bitcoin's has. Bitcoin has already broken to the downside and already bearishly backtested it. Let me go ahead and show you that really quickly. And with, okay, there, and then let me turn off that macro Fibonacci channel. You can see the same exact pitchfork where when we came into early 2025, we did reject from the top of that pitchfork, kind of moved down to the bottom, just like total. But Bitcoin is now broken it to the downside, backtested, and we're rejecting there. So is this a sign that the total market cap's about to do that? Well, if we go back to the total market cap, we are coming down to some very key support right now. So if we go from the last major daily low, and remember, this daily low was a liquidity grab of a prior daily low. So we grabbed some liquidity and then we moved up. Now we moved up, I have to say, on the daily time frame, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a 5-wave impulse to the upside. But there is an issue with that because we did hit the golden pocket. If you go from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3, you turn on your golden pocket. Your wave 4 cannot hit that. Actually, it didn't hit the golden. I remember now. Bitcoin hit the golden pocket. Total market cap and ETH did not. So this impulse to the upside is still a valid impulse. Potentially a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, a wave 5. Now, after any impulse finishes, you're expecting a corrective move. Oftentimes, if this is going to be if the bottom of this pitchfork is going to hold, then we could see all of this as a wave 1. And within your wave 1, you're looking for a 5-wave impulse within itself. So we have that 5-wave impulse within a wave 1. Your wave 2 often retraces to the golden pocket. And then your wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, we would expect a bigger push to the upside, a breakout, overall the pitchfork holding, and we would expect to get up to this band or at least, up to it or above it. So that is the bullish scenario, but we are now coming down to some key support. Now this golden pocket is pulled from the low of the impulse to the high of the impulse of a potential wave 1 of a bigger bullish impulse. So if we're going to bounce in a wave 2, golden pocket's your strongest Fibonacci area, but it's also the bottom of our pitchfork again. And we do not want to lose and start closing daily or weekly candles below this pitchfork structure. Because if we do, we could see a small back test before dropping, just like we saw on Bitcoin. We lost it, back test, and then drop. And then we could see, or a higher time frame back test and a drop. So we do not want to see the total market cap lose this support level. We are at very crucial support here. Now, when the total market cap is at support and Bitcoin or whatever altcoin you're looking at is at support, then that is key. You really want to see that's key there. Let me see. Wave 4 overlapped the top of wave 1. It cannot be an impulse. Let's see. Did it overlap? That's a good point there. And let's see if we actually overlapped. Yes, we did. Okay. Thank you for pointing that out, Olafray. Okay. See, and this is why I love live streaming with great traders that understand price action. So in an impulse, you have a wave 1, a wave 2 that retraces golden pocket. Your wave 3 pushes up. It's usually the longest, strongest, most volume-filled wave. You get a pullback in a wave 4 and then a wave 5. But if your wave 4 lows overlap with your wave 1 highs, it invalidates that structure. So now we cannot count this as a bullish impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You now would have to count this, if anything, we would have to look at this as a complex, I mean, even a WXYXZ, which is very, very rare, very, very unheard of for that complex corrective structure. But we would have to look at this as a larger, we have to probably zoom in here and look at this as a larger WXY correction to the upside to grab that liquidity. But what I will say is this push down so far looks pretty impulsive. And if we turn on our volume here, let's zoom in so we can get a better look at it on the 4-hour time frame. All right, so it is not quite as big yet as our highs. We want to see if we're really looking for a larger impulse to the downside. We want to see that volume starting to increase in this third wave. And what we could say, though, is if we're looking at from taking the liquidity of the range highs here, it does look like a pretty nice clear impulse so far. A wave 1 here in that contracting diagonal, a wave 2 here, and we could be in a wave 3. So let's actually look at this because I haven't looked at this yet. Let's pull our trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the highs of 1 to the lows of 1 to the highs of 2. And let's look at our 1.618. So yes, we have surpassed the 1.618. Now, because we have surpassed the 1.618 Fibonacci extinction, that makes this far more likely to be impulsive price action to the downside. Because if this was going to be a 3-wave corrective move, the maximum target for like an expanded correction is hitting the 1.618, and that's rare. Usually, like I said, it's between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. So because we've now surpassed the 1.618, it makes it far more probable that this is the start of an impulse that is not complete. We could still continue in this third wave to the downside, bounce from maybe a liquidity grab, come up for a wave 4, back testing the pitchfork before seeing a drop to overall take out these lows here. So yes, we are at key support right now. I do have to say this is still a key support level on the total market cap. And this could be the end of a wave 3 before seeing a small bounce in a wave 4, just to now come, drop back down in a wave 5. But let me see, is this? Yeah, we still had overlap there. So, but guys, it's not looking good. If we lose this pitchfork and if we start to close daily candles below this pitchfork, I really do think we could see continued dumpage to the downside. We could see the total market cap finally do what Bitcoin did a couple months ago and see a bigger breakdown, potentially to our 786 Fibonacci. All right, let me check the chat here. Olafray, thank you for pointing that out to me. I really do appreciate that. And guys, if you ever see something that I'm not catching on the charts, please point it out to me because I want to get this right for you guys the best I can. No ego involved, nothing like that. I want to give you guys the best probabilities absolutely possible to the best of my ability. So really do appreciate that, man. Okay, yeah, we are dumping. Warthog Thunderbolt, we are dumping. 92K ain't happening unless Donald Trump does a complete flip-flop. Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to push up to 92K today either. I think, if anything, we have a higher probability of pushing down to 87.5. 84K. Yeah, 84K is going to be really important because those lows at 84.4, we do have some liquidity, but the big liquidity level, like I said, it's if we look at the Model 3 heat map and we look at the last 3 months of price action, you can see all of that liquidity is down there. Even if we look at the last month of price action, you can see that our major liquidity is residing right into that value area low at $86,000. So that is a big level there for the liquidity. Crypto Wanderer 1, welcome in. And Celandina Anderson, welcome in. Felix, welcome in as well. What do I think of a long scalp? Right now, I do not see anything to give me a scalp long right here. We have no strength here. We don't have any real, I guess the swing failure pattern of this low could give you a scalp long trade. We haven't wicked past it too far. So technically you saw my alert go off during the stream when I just like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, could we see a liquidity grab of this low to make a small move up? Yes, but I don't see anything too strong. We are potentially developing the bull divs on the hourly chart. Like I said, let's actually zoom into the 30-minute chart. Let's see if we have bull divs on the 30-minute. So yeah, we do have some nice bull divs on the 30-minute. Money flow doesn't look the best though. It still looks like it wants to come out here on Market Cipher B. And on NAMI, it's pointing down again locally. Let's go to the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart here. Yeah, we do have some bull divs on the chart and some bull divs, but money flow on NAMI on the 15-minute chart is coming out pretty aggressively down here. You can see that. It's coming out pretty aggressively down here. I do have to say Market Cipher looks pretty good because you can see we have those bull divs on the chart, higher lows in the momentum waves, and your money flow is starting to slowly curve to the upside. So this might be a little scalp long opportunity where we push up to the VWAP and reject from the VWAP again. If you're going to enter this, first of all, if you're going to enter that, you want to enter it relatively quickly. Like now, let's just do this real quick as a live trade. Your stop is going to go below the wick, give it a little bit of breathing room. And even if we come up to the VWAP, that's still a 4.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio there. So that is a good scalp long opportunity to take potentially. And then that could be just a TP1 where you might come up to backtest 92.6 or 92.6 is the value area high. You might come up to about 92, actually 92.4. Okay, depends on what time frame you're on, between 92.4 and 92.6. Yeah, 92.4 actually, let's say 92.4. But look at our 3-hour time frame. Look at how bearish the money flow is here. Yes, potential bull divs forming, but not confirmed yet. But remember, I talk about this a lot with Market Cipher B. When you have super bearish money flow on Market Cipher B and you have one drive of bull divs, which is not even confirmed yet, the money flow 90% of the time overpowers those bull divs. I would also say, yes, this liquidity grab is kind of a crucial level because what I talk about, liquidity and volume being the most important things in the market, and we probably do have some stops residing below these lows, but that's not much of a liquidity grab. So maybe locally we can roll over one more time, come down, and then see that and give us some better divs, and then that might be a good scalp long opportunity. Because remember, guys, we're looking for when the total market cap is at a key support level. If your coin that you're trading is also at a key support level, it gives you more added confluence for at least a position. So yeah, technically we do have our total market cap confirmation as well as the swing failure pattern confirmed technically. You know what? This could be actually a decent little scalp long opportunity here. Yeah, nice bull divs on the 5-minute. You can see here all these 5-minute bull divs in here, 5-minute chart. And you kind of have this nice little contracting diagonal to end it here. Let's see. I just want to, because we're getting in kind of late now. Stop right there. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to enter this and bring it up to VWAP, I would say that would be an acceptable try. So you, because we're at a 0.35% stop loss, you could pretty much 3x your whole account. And if you get stopped out, you'll only lose 1%. I actually do think I'm going to wait for a little bit of a pullback. If we do get a little pullback in here, I might attempt to scalp long on this thing. The normal Swede, welcome in, man. Much love to you. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's see here. Oh, Big Deals, welcome in as well. It's good to see you. Okay, Andrew, it's good to see you. It's been a while, man, but welcome in. Trend is your friend. Yes, the trend is your friend, and Time Attack's right. So we've been in a pretty strong downtrend all day, and actually, this is what I wanted to show you. So we are starting to get a move up here, guys. Let's look at our open interest here to see if we are seeing some buying coming in. So not really, actually, right now. We'll zoom in a second, but what I want to show you primarily here is the dump that we've seen throughout the day. So from yesterday's highs, you can see as we were coming up into that 382 Fibonacci yesterday, right up here, we rejected that 382. But shortly after that last high right here, you can see our open interest has been pretty steadily increasing throughout the day or throughout last night and throughout the day today. And a majority of those positions coming in are short positions. That's why your CVD is dropping so heavily here. So we saw a lot of shorts, fresh short positions coming in. So bears are in control. Fresh shorts coming in, successfully pushing the price to lower targets. So yes, bears, I would say locally, are in control right now. They are in control. Now, let's zoom in here onto the 5-minute and let's see what we're seeing right now in the order flow to see if we have some long stepping in on this swing failure pattern, because we are getting a nice little reaction. The thing that's scaring me is it wasn't that deep of a swing failure pattern. All right. So I mean, one thing that we are seeing here is a lot of shorts coming in right into support. So look at this area right here. Shorts are coming in and they're fresh short positions. So once again, retail traders shorting after a major dump, shorting towards a key liquidity grab. Like, guys, if you are new to trading, do not short after you've been dumping for 6 hours straight, 5, 6 hours straight here. Don't short the bottom of a dump after what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of dumping, straight dumping. You're not, don't short down here, especially into a key liquidity grab. If you missed it, you cannot FOMO in late because we literally just saw on the 5-minute chart, we literally just saw people short the last hour within right in this general area. We just saw a bunch of fresh shorts coming in. Now that we grabbed liquidity, this could short squeeze because of them, and it could short squeeze easily up to that VWAP because they will be used as fuel. They'll be stopped out or liquidated if they have high leverage. So just do not make that mistake. If you miss the short, it sucks, but you have to have the discipline to say, I'm on to the next one. Or instead of looking for a short because it's shorting and you feel FOMO, do the opposite of what you're feeling and look for longs. So you could say, hey, we're coming down to a liquidity grab. If we do that, even though it's dumping like crazy, I'm going to long the liquidity grab. But yeah, it's looking. So what we want to see now is we want to see some long stepping in because right now, well, we'll see what happens in the next 15 minutes here. But if this open interest starts to drop, we want to see a short squeeze coming in. So, and we want to see this CVD going up here because stop out of shorts is a forced buy, right? If you're forced to get rid of your short position, it's a market buy. So we want to see the CVD going up. We would want to see open interest dropping, and we would want it to drop to take out all of these highs. All of this open interest. So you could see this drop to make new local lows on the open interest. You'd want this to be rising, and that would give you that nice short squeeze. It could give you some volatility to the upside very, very locally. So let's see if we get that. And if we do get a small pullback here, I want to see some more longs stepping in because if more longs do step in here, that could be the fuel at least to start the short squeeze. Let's go in onto the 1-minute chart. I want to see how this looks. Okay. Wow, couldn't even take out that high there, but let's see if we do. You know, if we come in here and we take out this high at 89,668, and then we retrace a little bit, and we retrace down to the golden pocket area, we could probably look for a long to bring it up to VWAP. So we'll see if we get that during the stream. Can you post a link to the bottom indicator with divergences, please? Yeah, that is called NAMI, and the link is in the description, but let me see if I can grab that for you. Go. Okay. Just grab that. All right. What is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Okay, guys. So Bitcoin is starting to see. I will now post that for you. There. Okay, Time Attack just got it. Okay, thank you, Time Attack. So Time Attack just posted that link for you. Thank you for that, Time Attack. I appreciate that. And then remember, if you use the discount code Divine50 in the promotion box, you can get 50% off. So that's there for you if you want to use it. If not, that's fine too. Even if you want to purchase the indicator at all. So, but thank you for asking. Real yes. Okay. Nonsense. Welcome in. I've been away from the charts. It's good to see you're still doing daily analysis. Yeah, man. It's good to see you back in here as well. I hope you did have some good time away from the charts. Kind of got to reset a little bit. Super Mario, welcome in. What are my VWAP settings? So it's just a normal VWAP. If you go into indicators up here and you just type in VWAP, volume weighted average price, that's this one here. But I just turned off the bands. It's set on session. Let me go here. So session just means the daily VWAP. You can also change it to a weekly VWAP, a monthly VWAP, yearly, whatever. But what I do is I just turn off the bands on it. So you're just using the actual VWAP there. And I tend to stick on the daily VWAP. Now, weekly VWAP can be very useful as well. But that's the VWAP for you. But I wonder if that's a joke because in Jason's Telegram, we've been joking with Boyan for years about his VWAP settings. So, all right, let's see. Are we going to see a small drop here? Okay, nice. Okay, is this right? I'm looking for 87.5 POC of the value area. Yeah, so that is exactly where I'm looking for Crypto Wanderer 1 for a bit of a good support level. It's not only the POC, but we have a naked weekly point of control there. We have a daily level there and a naked daily point of control there. So it's very key support down in that area. So you see that daily's coming in pretty much at $87,500. We have that naked daily point of control right there and a naked weekly point of control right there as well. And then just a little bit higher, we have the weekly that comes in at 87,877. So it's kind of a box of support for me, a zone of support in this area. But if you really want to snipe it, 87,500 is like the very key support level. All right, let's see if we get continuation to the downside here or if we're going to see a successful swing failure. Now, because this swing failure was so small, it wasn't a nice wick past it. We probably didn't stop out all the traders because when you do a swing failure pattern, you give your stop a little bit of breathing room, right? And then you're going to target whatever the resistance is. So because that wick just barely wicked down there, we might get one more drop back down to actually kind of wick it and stop out those traders. Another thing we can look at here, let me just go on to our liquidation heat map and we'll look at where if we grab that liquidity very locally. I mean, you can see there's still some liquidity down there. Very, very locally. So maybe we come down to actually grab all that liquidity first. All right. Back to Bitcoin. And let's just pull our little micro 1 minute golden pocket, 786 Fibonacci. And let's see if we start to bounce from that area. Because if we do, we could potentially look for that long. You mentioned SFPs, not sure if you streamed about it. But I got stuck in a short at the lows of the range around 84 to 85K swing failure pattern. It was a scenario you mentioned back then despite the bearishness. Yeah, so wait, you got stuck in a short there? Oh man, okay. So if you're looking for a swing failure pattern, you don't want to short into a swing failure of a low, right? So you're piercing below the level with the swing failure pattern. You're piercing below the level, stopping out the stops that are set underneath that level, and then you reverse. So once you get back above it, so if you did short down there at 85K, let's just say like right down here at these lows, the thing is you definitely wouldn't want to, and I'm sure you're probably talking about, well, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about, but say you have these lows down here because these lows didn't get grabbed. This liquidity right here didn't get grabbed. So I was actually looking for that $83,600 support because it was our 786, if you remember, pulled from the lows of 80.5K to the highs, coming down to 83.8 to 83.6 was the 786 down here. So I wanted to see the swing failure pattern of this low into the 786 and then see the rise, but we didn't get that. I mean, if you got stuck into a short, so here's the thing. If you're looking at swing failure pattern at the lows of liquidity, you definitely don't want to short near major liquidity, because it's a very common area where price will reverse or at least get a small bounce. So you actually want to be looking for longs there. But if you get stuck in it, you just have to make sure you have a plan ahead of time. So if say you were shorting because you were shorting here at 85,000, 84,000, because you did think we were going to come a little bit lower, and say you shorted here, not the smartest thing to do because your stop was way up here, but as far as technical risk management, or maybe it was a scalp and you had to stop up here, but now you have to be willing to get stopped out. because if it reverses before hitting this low, you have to be willing to get stopped out instead of holding it and holding it and holding it. Just be willing to get stopped out and move on to the next trade. Just like on Solana earlier today, I did take a long at 128. It was like 127.8 because we were coming to the value area low in golden pocket. We did get a small bounce up from that. I was in profit for about an hour. We came back down. I got stopped out because I set my stop below that local low on that green candle earlier today. And I posted about this in the Telegram. I said, I'm going to attempt a long on this. I think it was this one right here. So I longed right around here, and I put my stop below that local low because I said, if we do come down again, I can just re-enter. Dang it, stupid. There we go, something like that. And I was actually looking just to TP1 around the VWAP because there was a possibility we could continue down, but got stopped out on that. And if your trade idea is wrong, be willing to lose a little bit of money and get stopped out, but that's also why you want to calculate your risk reward ahead of time. It turned around, it made it to nearly 98K. Yes, yep. So just don't be shorting. What I would say with that is don't be shorting near the end of dumps, right? And we didn't know it was going to be the end at that time, but like, look at, we were in a pretty aggressive downtrend all through here, aggressive downtrend, aggressive. So you don't want to be shorting. And even on the day, you had dropped quite a significant amount here. So if you're shorting near the bottom of that dump, it's not good risk to reward ratio. Even if we think it's going lower, you still would have to say you were shorting at like 84K, right? Or 85K. Oops. And this is not Bitcoin, but let me get to Bitcoin. Say you were shorting around 85K. That's long. Hold on. Right? 85K. And your stop, your high is way up here. So you'd have to put your stop above that high. And you would only be targeting the liquidity. That's a horrible risk to reward. But let's just say you were targeting if it changed market structure. So if it broke this red candle high right in here, then you're going to get out, right? It's still a horrible risk to reward ratio. So you wouldn't want to enter the trade. You want to make sure that your stop loss is at least a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So that's when you get out. If first of all, you don't get into the trade unless it's like a 2.5 or 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio, but you get out of the trade if it's if it goes against you. All right, we're coming down to that golden pocket right now. Hidden bear div printed on the 5-minute, and we did make a lower high. Remember, hidden bear div is a continuation signal. So we have been doing lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So now are we going to see one more lower low come in? Because we did print that hidden bear div here. Could we bounce? Yes. And if you, I do see that we do have 15-minute bull divs. We have 30-minute bull divs. We have hourly bull divs. The 2-hour chart, no bull divs, but money flow is starting to bottom out, but NAMI's not, and no bull divs either on NAMI. What's concerning to me is like the 3 and 4-hour chart. So if we look at the 3-hour chart, look at how bearish the money flow looks right here. Pretty bearish money flow. And then on the 4-hour chart, I guess we're just about to dip back into the red here. So could we get the swing failure pattern? Yes. And I understand if you do want to attempt this, it's, you know, that kind of was that right there. You could have attempted that. I'm waiting for bigger support levels. Let's just say that, because if I scalp this, I'm going to have to babysit this until it gets up to the VWAP and take profit, because that VWAP is going to drop every, hour or so until it meets it, or until we flip the trend and the VWAP flips. Okay. And yes, thank you, Time Attack. Really do appreciate that. Tiki Taku, welcome in. 96. You still are in the 90K 7 short. Nice, man. Well, good for you. I'm still in from $97,200, but I'm like, I took profit on like 80% of that trade way too freaking early. 70, 80%. Because I was up. Let me just go to the hourly chart. So I shorted this golden pocket. So we had our initial drop. We broke market structure bearishly by breaking this low. So that was your bearish break in market structure. Because you broke market structure bearishly, now you could look for a lower high to come in on the charts. And where's the most common area to reject is that golden pocket. And after breaking market structure bearishly, we came up to the golden pocket, which was also the back test of the anchored VWAP. So I shorted right in here, right as soon as we started rejecting from the golden pocket. But my first TP, I TP'd when we broke this low. I TP'd, I think 50% of it because I was like, I was thinking we were going to come up to 98.5. And then I TP'd more. I think, can't remember what bounce it was. I TP'd some more. I know I did TP a little bit when we hit the value area high. I think it was only 10% of what was left. So very little amount. But yeah, just that's, I know you've been talking about that short you've been in for a while. So ETH's at local support. Let me check ETH. And we'll check Tau. I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah, ETH is at support. We're coming down to the daily level, a naked weekly point of control, and a naked daily point of control on Ethereum. And actually, I was short on Ethereum. Actually, from way up here, I was short on Ethereum once we lost the golden pocket. And also yesterday, I talked about in the video yesterday, guys, I think I shorted like right in here. We fell back inside the volume profile and we were bearishly backtesting it. So in yesterday's video, I said, if we can get back above and we could probably see another push up because this was our 1.236 Fibonacci extinction in here, as well as a local golden pocket. So it was a support level, but we ended up rejecting, confirming acceptance back within the range. And so now we're dropping down and we could even drop to the value area low. But this is a TP level because it's an important volume support and daily level of support, time frame horizontal and volume horizontal support level. Now, I will say this could be absolutely the start of a bigger impulse to the downside where you kind of have that contracting diagonal here in a wave one. You have that 3-wave move in a wave 2. And I talked about this yesterday. If it was bearish, you would want a wave 3 that pushes down. And if we hit the 1.618, which I know we've surpassed it. So let's pull that 1.618 real quick. You can see that 1.618 was at the POC, but we've now surpassed the 1.618. So making this far more likely to be a wave 1, a wave 2, and we're in the wave 3. So are we just going to get a small bounce here for a wave 4 before ultimately rolling over and making a 5th wave into the value area low? So I have a TP on my short. I haven't longed this yet. And let me check to see, are we at good? Because the reason why I'm looking for longs now is because the total market cap's at support as well. So if total market cap and your altcoins are both at support, you're at least likely to see some sort of small bounce, but I would be playing every bounce as a scalp long position. I would be taking profits at lower highs. And we can even look at the target. So let's pull it from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3, the current lows. If we come between the 382 and the 0.5, so that's where I would take profit, 30 at the POC, 31.25-ish. If you're longing this level, but I would wait till we get to 29.75. What was that? There was something else in there that was at 29.75. I think it was a Fibonacci level. Let me grab that Fibonacci. Okay. No, but you can see on that 786 Fibonacci is at the value area low. And I also believe there's a daily level there at the value area low. So this is going to be a little important support level as well. Because if I turn on our dailies, you could see this here. So this would be our next kind of support box. Not that. This here, 786 value area low daily. $786. But we have a daily at 29.66. We have a naked weekly point of control at 29.83. And then we have a naked daily point of control at 29.73. So maybe 29.83-ish, 29.80. We are starting to hit the start of that box of support there. And yes, we are breaking this local golden pocket though. So look at this on the lower time frames. I until we hit the naked weekly point of control, I think we have a little bit lower. That naked weekly is probably the most important level within that. So we haven't quite hit it yet. So I would expect us to continue to kind of grind down here and look at, we're back testing that 0.65. So I would expect to come down a little bit lower. But this is a decent level. We do have 1 hour bull divs. Money flow is not looking the best here, but you can see very nice bull divs on NAMI, and money flow is curving up locally as this last little piece is starting. And this chop in here is starting to show some exhaustion in the selling because we're starting to get more choppy towards the end. So yeah, we could maybe potentially look for a good long on Ethereum. Let's zoom out a little bit. I want to go to the 2 hour. Do we see bull divs? No, but we do see a green dot on the 2 hour. Money flow starting to bottom out on Market Cipher B. 4 hour. Man, that money flow just looks pretty bearish here. Let's see if we do get a bounce. I mean, this might be a decent level to look for a scalp long, but remember, we're looking to come up between the 382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. So for me, with that 382, right where the POC is, this would be my resistance. So if I'm longing the naked weekly point of control, my stop I would probably put below the daily level at 29.66. So, you know, maybe here. And I could refine that box a little bit. That box, this should be up a little bit higher. And then my TP1 or a final TP would be up there. That's a decent risk to reward trade there. TP1 would be the VWAP. You would have a 0.34%. So that roughly you could 3x long your whole account. And if you get stopped out, you'll only lose 1% of your account. So risk management is the most important thing in trading, guys. And the tighter of a stop loss you can get, like the tighter your entry, the more precise your entry, the better the stop loss. And that's when you can get really nice, even off small moves. Like I showed you guys last week, off a small move, a scalp move, I made more than off of a bigger move because my risk to reward was better. My stop loss percentage was better. So it's all based off that stop loss percentage, guys. Okay, where was I in the chat? Oh, we're bouncing from the multi-cycle pitchfork. Wait. Are you talking about the big one? Let's see here. Okay, wait. This one is the multi-cycle pitchfork pulled from the COVID lows, I believe. Yeah, COVID lows, bull market highs, bull market lows. So not this one. But we have this guy in here, and we're not bouncing from him either. Are you using Batketo? Are you using different pivots? Will you let me know what pivots you're using? Because we can take a look at that. Okay. Roy, welcome in. It's good to see you in here, and cheers to you. Oh, I know not. Yeah. Okay, cool, Kara. And I know you probably weren't thinking that either. ETH right now at naked point of control, naked daily. Yep. Okay, monthly open as well. Okay, 0.8 Fibonacci. Okay, Luciano, thank you. Thank you for pointing out that we're at that support level on Ethereum. Now look at how many daily levels Ethereum has. Let me turn those off. That's crazy. You mark them out until they're hit, guys. You keep them on the charts because they are levels of support and resistance until they're hit. Now, once they're hit, you can delete them. Nice little bounce, but man, I would have liked to come a little bit lower. Let's see if we did actually hit that naked weekly. No, not yet. Look at that. Naked weekly is still in there. And depending on if you use the 1 hour or the 4 hour time frame, on the 4 hour, it's at 29.71. Let's say 29.72 to be safe. Let's go in onto the 1 hour time frame and let's see where that guy is at. So either way, 29.74 on the 1 hour time frame. So we have not come down and hit that naked weekly point of control yet. I would like to wick a little bit, one more. I know we're at the larger golden pocket. I would like to come down and make a new local low one more time. Naked weekly point of control, wicking past the golden pocket to hit that would be nice. Do I use Bollinger Bands? Not really. I know that Bollinger Bands are very useful, but I don't really have a strategy with them. I know just when they're squeezed together, you expect a big bounce, you know, or a big move up. So they're squeezed pretty tight in there. All right, I don't want that one. Guess we don't have it. They're starting to expand pretty heavily, but yeah, rejected the top of the Bollinger Band, but we're breaking past that bottom part of the Bollinger Band, which is pretty rare. Usually you bounce from the bottom or near the bottom. So this has been a pretty aggressive dump today. Let's go to the daily. Coming down to the daily on ETH, but look at, we're not down there yet. We haven't hit it yet. And coming down a little bit lower would be really nice to see, like just a little bit lower. Let's check Bitcoin on that. And Bitcoin coming down to 87,500-ish area would be really nice to see. What do you think this is? Hello. What do you think this is the good level for a bounce? It didn't stop at the 1.618. Yeah. So we will get, I mean, honestly, the really good level is 87,800 to 87,500, with like 87,500 being the best level of support. But I would say we are doing a little minor liquidity grab right now. And actually, did we just change market structure? I want to see, because if we change, okay, so we finally first had our official break in market structure by taking out this high here, even though it was just a wick, we just had a market structure break. So now if we do drop back down, hitting that golden pocket could be a long position to take up to VWAP. So now let's pull that. The thing is, this looks three-wave correcty here. I don't like that. And knowing that ETH needs to make new local lows, let's look at the total market cap. How's it going? All right, yeah, total market cap starting to bottom out here too. This could be a good long position, guys, for a couple different coins right now. So 87, 89, like 350, 89, 370. We might be able to get a little long position off of that. Stop loss would be, I would say, 0.29%. We would pull it up to the VWAP around these highs. So a 4.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. And to give you guys an example of what we could be looking at, let's just say our account is $1,000, right? That's our trading account is $1,000. So you're risking generally 1% per trade. So the 1% of $1,000 is $10. So we're risking $10 per trade. Now you're going to divide that by this stop loss, but because it's in percentages, you move the decimal over. So you're going to divide that by 0.00293. So now we can put $3,412 on the position on this exact trade here. And if we get stopped out, we're only going to lose $10. But you only have $1,000. You just said it's $1,000 account, Divine Hood. How do I have 3,400? Well, that's where leverage comes into play. You would have to crank up your leverage to 4x, which would give you $4,000 portfolio. 3,000 you're borrowing from the exchange. 1,000 is your own money. So now you could 4x leverage and put $3,412 on the position. And if you you have a 4-to-1 risk reward ratio, or a little bit over 4-to-1 risk reward ratio. But if you get stopped out, you're still only going to lose $10. Whether your risk is 4x or 50x, you're still risking the same amount. You're risking $10. The leverage just cranks up the amount of margin you're using in the position. Time Attack, thank you so much for the super chat. And yes, let's check Chainlink out. So what I want to do here is I'm going to just set an alert right around this golden pocket. And then let's check out. And I also want to go into Ethereum real quickly here. And I want to set an alert on that naked weekly point of control. Man, Ethereum, just one more drop, please. Solana is, I mean, we are pretty much right around that golden pocket on Solana. I would like to come down to 123, which is our larger, 123 to 125 is our larger level. Right here, 123.14. That's your almost 2-year long range value area low. And you can see on Solana losing it. So if we reject here, I would expect to come down. Okay. Chainlink. Now, guys, Chainlink, we shorted this exact level up here. And remember, as we were shorting this level, it was our 786 Fibonacci and a daily level, I believe it was. 786 and a daily between 14.3 and 14.6. And we created that head and shoulders pattern. So first off, you could say left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But why were we looking for a head and shoulders here? First of all, because it's the topping reversal pattern. But also, we had broken market structure bearishly by taking out this low on this drop. You broke market structure bearishly, so now you're looking for your golden pocket retrace to look for a short. And where do we get the short? From the golden pocket retrace right here. So you either could have shorted the exact level, or after the confirmation of a bearish break in market structure, now you can look to short the bearish retrace to the golden pocket. Chopped around the POC over the weekend, and now we're dropping to our key support level. We're at a support level of the 786 and the value area low. Now, remember, this was the value area high. We wicked past the value area high and stayed above it for a few hours. We're wicking past the value area low right now into our 786, just like we came into our 786 right up here. And I did tell you guys that altcoins like to go to the 786 more than Bitcoin. Bitcoin likes to stop at golden pockets. Altcoins like to stop at 786s. So this is a support level. I would say it's not the strongest support level, but it is of our 10-week long range between the large POC and the large value area low. We are at that level. And let me see. Let me just turn on that range. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Let's turn on our large range. And the large value area lows at like 11.6, I believe. 11.8. So, but we're at the value area low of our 10-week long range. And you can see we rejected POC. So now, just like Solana's is down at 123, it's a little bit lower. Chainlink's is a little bit lower at 7.8 or 11.8. We're very close to this liquidity here, like these semi-equal lows. Let me see. Did we take that out? So semi-equal lows at 11.97. So SFPing those lows into the value area low would be really nice to see, but we might get a small move up now. Let's see if we, time attack, what we're looking for right now is on the hourly chart, we're below the POC, we're below the value area low of our our smaller range, our 10-week long range. So what we're looking for now, if we come up here, backtest this and reject, then I would expect to come down. If we can get back above it, reject from VWAP, flip it to support, that could be a good long position. We could be looking at this as a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, a wave 4, a wave 5. Now we could retrace to the golden pocket and then see another dump down there. So right now I'm being patient because our money flow looks like garbage on a lot of these altcoins. But we are at support at the total market cap. So I am looking for longs because total market cap is at support because a lot of these coins are at support. Okay. And let me get back into the chat. Where was I? All right. It stopped the 1.618 of wave 1 and wave 2, so we'll get a 4th and 5th wave. Yeah, it does look a 3-wavy meme cat D. It does look like a 3rd wave right now on Bitcoin. It looks like a pretty aggressive 3rd wave down, but you might even still get a small bounce here in a 4th wave before continuing down. Before continuing down is what I mean. Bear divs on the 1 minute here. Trying to break this market structure. I mean, we've broken it, but I do want to come down a little bit more now. Because our VWAP is so close and we could reject from the VWAP. I'm in the same boat from 97K, but only have like, okay, yeah, Joe Manu, at least you're in a short, man. So profit's profit, right? Barra, what's up, man? Bond market ripped higher today. It is bad. 4.22 and 4.28 just today. It's a big move above the 50 and the 200 moving average. Keep your shorts careful with longs. Yeah, I agree, man. If bonds are rising like that, we're going to see risk on assets take a nosedive. So in Barrow, by the way, I've been talking about 80K lows being taken during this entire 56 long day range. I said that it was far more likely that this was a corrective range before ultimately coming lower. This entire range that we've seen here was a corrective range before ultimately coming lower. So yeah, I have to tend to agree with that macro analysis. AXSCB, welcome in, man. Just got in. We'll have to go back to the start. Thank you, dude. And AXCB, thank you for joining. Even if it's late, always thank you for being here. Looks like USDT will break out on weekly resistance. Okay, we're going to check out USDT. I really quickly want to go back to Chainlink real quick because, so I would say we're at some local support here, time attack, but we have to be careful because we are breaking below the value area low. Our money flow doesn't look the best. We don't really see bull divs, or very, very slight bull divs on the hourly, but that money flow is going to overpower that. Let's look on the 15-minute. Yeah, 15-minute actually has some nice bull divs, multiple drives of bull div here. Money flow starting to curve to the upside. So our test that we're going to be looking for right now is, are we going to reject here? If we do, I would expect to at least come take your double lows at 11.97. But coming down to 11.8 would be really nice. So let's see if we get one more low in. We are near support or at support pretty much. But coming down and grabbing these highs in here, or this liquidity in here, would be nice. On Bybit, we already, on ETH, that naked daily POC and naked. Okay, so Bybit already hit the naked weekly POC. Yes, we did. Nice catch there. Yep. Well, let's see if we bounce from here. This is where your golden pocket is as well, or relatively close to your golden pocket. I would say this is a decent position to look for long on Ethereum, guys. This is a decent position. So if we are going to look for a long, because also if we pull our golden pocket from our last big lows, you know, those big daily lows that we had here to the highs, you can see we're right at the golden pocket, and we wick past it to hit the naked daily or naked weekly point of control. So you're at support. This is absolutely an area to be looking for long, and I'd be looking for the long to backtest the POC, because if we're going to pull our trend, our Fibonacci retracement from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3, we want to look between the 382 and the 0.4, and you can see your 382 is right where that POC is at. So for now, even if we're getting in as we speak right now, if we're getting in literally right now here, stop is going to go below the low, and we're targeting the POC to the 382, 5.5, almost a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio there. That's really nice. Gosh, if we could just make one more low to hit the Coinbase, I think I will attempt a long on this, because we are seeing some bull divs. Actually, we did even break market structure bullishly here. I didn't mean to go 1 minute chart. We broke market structure bullishly here by taking out those highs, or even these highs here. So yeah, we do have some bullish market structure. Let's see if we can get a bit of a scalp long here. I'm still expecting 100 plus K end of February, dump to early March. Well, we'll see how it goes. I actually am leaning towards coming down to take 80K before 100K comes, but we'll see how it goes. You know, that's why we play both scenarios. We have a bullish and bearish scenario. We just play, as traders, we play whatever comes. Crypto Clan World, welcome in. CME still has the gap just above 88K. I'm looking for that to fill first. Okay, thank you for letting us know that. Yeah, CME gap, guys, still down below, and it's likely that we can come down a little bit lower. I mean, Bitcoin did SFP, but it was very slight here. Very, very slight. So let's see how this works out. Do we have 5 waves down complete on BTC? I don't think it's done yet. No. And why? Because we cannot count this as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, because that means your third wave would be the shortest wave, and that's a hard invalidation for an impulse. If we look at this price action from the highs of 1 to the lows of 1, that is $3,734. If we look at this, 3,500. So it is smaller, just barely, but it is smaller than this level. And then now if we look at if this was going to be the 5th wave, the 5th wave is the longest one of all, 4,100. So because this third wave would be the shortest wave, you cannot count this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. You cannot. So now we have to go with even the more bearish scenario where this is a 1, 2. That's your primary 1, 2. This is your secondary 1, 2. And we're in the third wave now. And then after that, you would expect to see 4, 5s come in. Solana bottoming looking good. Yeah, Solana is at support as well, guys. But I think that if Bitcoin, so if this is a double 1, 2 impulse, I think this third wave is going to be a little bit longer, and it makes sense that we could come down to 87.5. We are at scalp long territory, not only on Bitcoin, not only on Solana, not only on Ethereum, not only on Chainlink. We're at a lot of support levels. So yes, right now is the time to be looking for live trades as we're making this live stream. Today's Tuesday, watch Thursday. Yes, CPI, PPI news. Okay, thank you, Baro. So we have some high impact news on Thursday. PCE, yeah, core PCE, and yeah, I guess okay, this Thursday. GDP quarter over quarter, and then core PCE month over month. Okay. Today, okay, nothing really. Okay, let me check really quickly Tau. And it's been a while since I've looked at this one, but gosh, I have a different chart for it. There we go. All right. Yeah, and I remember last time we were looking, we came up to that 3 Fibonacci extinction level because we were looking at this as a possible 1, 2, 1, 2. We came all the way up to 3. We did make a 4 and a 5, another 4, another. Actually, yeah, it looks like we completed that triple 1, 2 impulse. So you can see here, or a double 1, 2, excuse me, a 1, 2, 1, 2, your big third wave. Then this was a retrace in a 4. You made a new high in a 5. Retrace in another 4, and then a new high in another 5. So you had your 2 1 2s, and then you had your 2 4 5s. So this impulse ended in here, and now we could expect a correction down at least to the golden pocket, pulled from the highs of the impulse to the lows of the impulse. So let me zoom out here, and let's do that. Let's pull our Fibonacci from the lows of the impulse to the highs of the impulse, and let's turn on our golden pocket in 786. So we already attempted on the weekend to bounce from the golden pocket, but we just made a lower high and started dumping. So now I would say we're likely to come down to the 786 and the bottom of the pitchfork band. And let me get rid of this naked daily. Let me get rid of this SR flip level. So this impulse played out perfectly, guys. But overall, it created an overall lower high on the daily time frame. We are coming up close to some support in here. Pitchfork band 786. Let's look to see if we have any naked weekly points of control and naked daily points of control in here. Naked dailies. Okay. Yeah, so these are pretty nice levels here. They're a little bit below our 786 and our pitchfork. Let's check the 886 out. Man, yeah, I don't like those. Was this more than 100% pump? No. So just 786. And then let's look at man, yeah, we have that daily level down here as well. So I would say even dropping a little bit past the 786 might be probable. Between 223 and 219, you have some pretty good support. Naked daily, naked weekly, daily level in here. And then you have this kind of daily, well, I guess it's not a fair value gap, but yeah, I don't, nothing too good there. Well, we are breaking down below your value area low of your bigger range. And that's this entire sideways range here on Binance. You're below the value area low, which is coming in around 246, 247, let's say. And you're still in bearish market structure, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So are we going to come make a lower low? Are we going to come all the way down to the bottom of the pitchfork is what we could do. And if we pull that Fibonacci from the crash lows to the highs, we turn on our JC pocket and we put it on log scale. We've already bounced from the golden pocket. That was this bounce right here at the beginning of the impulse. So the larger, I mean, in a super bearish scenario, we could come all the way down here over the next weeks or so, days to weeks. But you have some local support coming up. I would expect to at least drop on Bit Tensor to 230 because that's where your pitchfork band is at 230. 230 to 227 would be the first level I'd be looking at. If you break that, 223 to 219. So level to level. Do we see bull divs yet? Not really. I mean, very, very slight bull divs in this last, 3-4 hours here, 5 hours. Some bull divs in here. But I would expect for this to kind of continue grinding sideways and down at least until you come down to 230. Yeah, and you do have some slight bull divs on Market Cipher B now. But you can see how this pitchfork band was acting as resistance in here. So now if we come down to it, we want to see if it will hold its support. Okay, XRP. I saw someone wanted to look at XRP. Where's that at? Yeah, XRP is coming down to our support level. Now, we already hit that support level on the weekend. On Sunday, we dropped down to that support level. So could we come down again? That was the POC and the channel midline area. But look at the value area low now is directly on that channel midline. And it would take out the low. It would also give us some nice bull divs. If we continue down to this level, we would have some nice bull divs in here. You'd want to do it relatively quickly. But here's the scary part on XRP. This looks like a 3-wave corrective move with your C wave being that impulse to end it on a high amount of volume. So because this was just more likely to be a 3-wave corrective move, we're likely eventually to take out these lows. I'm not saying we won't bounce before that. We could absolutely bounce before that, but because it was more likely to be three-wave corrective, and these lows are double bottoms. It was technically an SFP because if you look here from 177.1 to 177.05, so it was the slightest SFP in the world, but that's not enough to stop out those stops that are below it. So making sense to come down and actually wick those now and take out the double liquidity that's resting below. That's like over the next couple of weeks. We're probably going to bounce before then. So now let's just come in here. And let's look at some of our levels that we have potentially here. Yeah, that naked daily has not been hit yet at 183.7. And an SFP into the naked daily, an SFP from the weekend lows. Remember, these are weekend lows, and weekend lows often get taken out. So seeing the SFP, now I'm going to move this, the SFP into that naked daily would be actually pretty nice to see. It's okay. Yeah, naked weekly's been hit on Sunday. Yeah, and you also have that daily right down there, right? So a daily at 184 and your naked daily point of controls right down there. I probably already had that on the chart. Yeah, I already had that on the chart. So naked daily and a daily level at 184. 184 is where I would look for the next potential long opportunity here because you can see a daily and a naked daily, and it would be the SFP of the weekend low. Into naked daily POC / daily. Let's set an alert there. Now, just because I'm putting an alert there doesn't mean I'm actually going to take the trade. If we come down there and still have bull divs, I'll take the trade. If not, I don't. Yeah, and if we do break a 184, I mean, the value area low is at 182.7, but we probably could see a move down at least to take out your 177 lows. I mean, there's a lot. Before we get to 154, I mean, that's a pretty aggressive dump, 154. You know, the SFP of 161 was that very key low that has not been taken out. So I'd be looking at 161 to see if that gets taken out. But you know, we'll have to see level to level. Richin, thank you, man. I appreciate it, and thank you for the super chat. Awesome comment, man, and I really appreciate you doing that. Solana is coming down. Solana from 125 to 123 is the really key level. So I talked about Solana yesterday. First of all, we shorted this because it was the SFP of the range highs into our logarithmic golden pocket. Now, we're also looking at a potential accumulation pattern in here, right? And if you guys go watch yesterday's video, I went in depth on this. But left shoulder, head, and if we come down here for a right shoulder, that's in terms of pattern trading. But in terms of Wyckoff accumulation, tap 1, tap 2, and if we come down here, tap 3, that could be a really good area to look for a potential swing long around 123. And the reason why is because we're ranging between your point of control and your value area low. And this is of a range that goes back to March of 2024. So almost 2 years long now, this entire upper range. And we're coming down to the value area low again. So could we now see that accumulation take place down here, breakout, and expansion? Yes, we could. If it's bullish, then that's what we want to see. We want to see this level down here hold, and we want to see that kind of bottoming reversal pattern and some expansion to the upside. So we're short, but we can also hedge along down here, hoping that it does break out in accumulation, expansion of accumulation. What I will say on the weekly time frame or on the higher time frames, this could be like a weekly distribution pattern in the making over the past 2 years. Right? You had a giant impulse up here. And this is like a left shoulder, head, right shoulder on the weekly time frame. And if we start to break down, I mean, gosh, guys, we could drop significantly on this thing. Unfortunately, we could drop significantly on this thing. And now this is the weekly time frame. You would expect that to be the bear market, right? A full year of weekly distribution, distributing down, for weeks. But I'm bullish on Solana fundamentally and overall. So I would like to see this hold, and I would like to make at least a push up to the value area high for a lower high. But this is pretty bad here. Look at this. Bear divs pretty aggressively, followed by a trigger wave, and your money flow's been draining out, just crossing into the red on the weekly. That is not good to see. And if Bitcoin is going to go into a bear market, Solana could drop significantly here, guys. Locally on Solana, though, let's zoom in and let's look at today's price action on Solana. And if go watch yesterday's video, because I was talking about this level yesterday at 128 to 127, where we're pretty much at right now. It is our golden pocket value area low. And it's of our 10-week long range, not our 2-year long range. So I just hid the 2-year long range. If we look at our sideways range, all the price action between the larger POC and the larger value area low. So remember, our larger POC was right up here. Our larger value area low is at 123. This sideways range here, which could be an accumulation range, right? This could be an accumulation range in the making. The value area low and the golden pocket pulled from the lows, the range lows to the range highs. If I can get it. 128 to 127. So you're at your value area low. You're at your golden pocket. Looks pretty nice to me. But knowing that right now, at least locally, we've broken past the value area low. Like I said on Chainlink for time attack, if we come up here right now and reject this right now locally, then I would expect to move down. And at 125, we have a weekly level. We have a lot of support in this box. So at 125.17, we have a weekly level. We have a daily level at 124.45 and 123.08. We have a naked weekly point of control in there at 124.75. We have a naked daily point of control in there at 125. So like a lot of support between 125 and 123. If we reject right now, coming up to retest this value area low, a bearish retest, an intraday bearish retest, like right now, and we reject, we're probably going to continue down. Let's see if I can grab that. What is Biddy doing here? Okay, so we're struggling a bit to try to break these highs. I mean, we have changed market structure, so let's see if we can. Let me just get rid of that. Let's see if we can change this golden pocket. Let's see if we do come down to that golden pocket in there. But, I mean, you do have some nice bull divs in here. And specifically, Ethereum looks really nice. I would like to come down just a little bit further on Ethereum. We're probably going to form a range for a couple hours in here. So, yeah, 28 to 31 Tiki Taco. I mean, like if we distribute there, Solana could get very bearish. Now, I will tell you this. If Solana does see that significant drop, I will be buying it. Like, I will be buying Solana much, much lower targets, 31 to 28. That is your logarithmic golden pocket. That's also a pretty important support resistance flip area as far as support resistance flips go. And I mean, like, there's not much in here, right? So if you start losing these lows here, you're in trouble. If you start losing these lows, you're probably going to drop to those lows. We can look at our naked monthly points of controls in here. $73 naked monthly point of control into a liquidity grab. A liquidity grab into a naked monthly point of control. Looks pretty nice. right? So if you see that liquidity grab into that naked monthly. All right, what's going on here? Bitcoin is dumping. Yeah, let's we're coming down to the golden pocket right now. Man, that money flow looks pretty bad on the 1 minute. Let's check our 5 minute. Money flow's coming out again on the 5 minute. So, guys, obviously I don't give financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor, but we did come up and break market structure just barely by wicking it. But if you do remember, after breaking market structure bearishly, if you come down to the golden pocket, that is an area where you could look for a long with pretty decent risk, right? Stop goes below the low. We could be targeting the VWAP. That's still a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio for a scalp trade there. So that is a possibility if you wanted to do that. You know, you're already pumping here, but I think that we're going to retake the lows one more time. Yeah, I think we're going to take the lows one more time. Let's see if Ethereum can too as well. What is Ethereum doing? Ethereum, stop it. Come down one little bit lower. Fuck, Ethereum. I mean, Ethereum, because we're looking at a wave 4 after this. If this was a wave 3, 1, 2, 3, fourth wave, and then a 5, right? Man, this could be a really good long because you're at your golden pocket and you're at your naked weekly point of control here. Bull divs on the 1 hour, bull divs on the 15 minute, bull divs on the 30 minute. It's only when you get to the 2 hour, there's no bull divs, but you do have a big green dot here and you're bottomed out here. Maybe very slight bull divs on the 2 hour on NAMI. I just am pissed off we didn't hit the naked weekly point of control on Coinbase. Give us one more drop, Biddy. Give us one more drop, Ethereum. I wanted to check because I'm still short on Sui. I think Sui's going to come a little bit lower. We're breaking our golden pocket and our POC. And this support level, we got a small bounce from it, but then we dropped through it. So this bottoming range, Sui is breaking the golden pocket. Okay. We have that little order block right here. We're bouncing from that little order block on the 4 hour. Nice little order block right here. So we're starting to hit that order block. Tiki Taku, if we do get to 28, man, I'll be buying with you. I will be buying with you. Why I can't tick on logarithmic scale on my trading view? You should just be able to come in here and hit log on, log off like that. Oh, with the Fibonacci. So with the Fibonacci tool, if you're not on the log scale, it won't let you click log in the settings. So you have to make sure your chart's on log, and then it will, like, so right now, see, it's not on log. And if I pull a fib and I just try to come in here and click log, it won't work because my scale's not on log. So it'll only work if your scale's on log. Then you could come in here and you could click log on, log off, log on, log off. Yeah, let's check our CVD. What am I doing here? Okay, so we see our open interest is continuing to rise. We are still seeing shorts come in here. That is so interesting. Look at this. Shorts have been coming in for the last hour at the bottom in this sideways range. Short positions, and they're new shorts coming in. Man, we could start to short squeeze here, guys. I think I am going to attempt a long position on Ethereum. I'm going to have to adjust my stop loss based off of the current lows. So is this still good here? I mean, that is still a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And I would probably, okay, let me go to the 1 minute. And if we start to, I would like to get to here. 29.94 on Ethereum. And I think I am going to, let's see. Okay, so guys, if you do decide to take a long on Solana, Ethereum, Chainlink right now, use proper risk management. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor and I don't give financial advice. So just because I enter a trade doesn't mean you should. But I mean, we are at some support levels with bull divs on the chart, potentially ending a third wave where we could see a bounce. Now, this, let me be clear, this trade here would be a scalp long to make a lower high overall before making another lower low. And we could get wicked out on it and have to re-enter. We could roll over one more time, have to re-enter once we actually hit that naked weekly, creating some more bull divs on the chart. So you have to be willing to get stopped out and re-enter if that's the scenario, because we're getting in kind of late here. You do you, there. Trading Purpose, welcome in, man. Thank you for joining the community. Hope you like what you see, man. And guys, if you did get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream today, please hit the like button for me. Please subscribe to the channel. Today's been a good live stream because we are coming down to these support levels right as we're seeing bull divs on the chart, and right as that total market cap is coming down to our support level. And I can't stress enough how important it is for the total market cap to hold this golden pocket in the bottom of the pitchfork. If this holds, we could see a decent move up because the bottom of our pitchfork has held throughout this entire range, right? Rejected the upper band, chopped down. We've been forming that sideways and up range between the lower band and the pitchfork bottom. If we do break this down, we could see a significant drop here. And I do think, because I'm bearish on Bitcoin overall, like, we're looking for scalp longs right now or day trade longs, but I do think Bitcoin does have a higher probability of breaking down just based off what we're seeing. Let me get rid of some of this. I do think Bitcoin overall is going to continue to dump, but liquidity grab that we're seeing right now, a little scalp long opportunity from that liquidity grab. But we're losing some very key structures. Like I said, that macro Fibonacci channel, which guided us through the entire bull market. Since we've lost it, we've spent 56 days forming this corrective range underneath it. And are we about to see that dump to take out 80.5K that would occur over the next weeks to months. I'm not saying it's going to happen today or tomorrow. What does it change? So Meme Cat, when you're on the log scale, it incorporates the high volatility and moves. So especially some of the altcoins that move 2,000%. If you have a pump that's more than a 100% pump to the upside, when you're pulling your Fibonacci from the low to the high, and I know that just messed up. If you're looking at the proper 61.8% retrace, because the 618 is a 61% retrace, right? A 61.8%, which is ingrained in our minds. It's ingrained in nature. It's ingrained all around us. And so that level tends to be a level where we'll see bounces in the market or FOMO, like people will FOMO right into that support and it reverses on them and traps them. So the golden pocket's a very important psychological level. But to get the proper 61.8% retrace, if it's more than a 100% move to the upside, you want to turn it based off log scale, and that'll give you your proper 61% retrace. If it's more than a 30% dump, you want to do the same thing. So it shifts the level to the proper 61% retrace. Sudeep, welcome in. Much love to you, and thank you for being here. Okay, my YouTube is only at 52 likes now. Wow. Okay, I don't know what mine is at, but yeah, I just appreciate you guys. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and all that. Let's see if I can't pull this up real quick. $101, 102 now. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. I'm just a little bit concerned about this SFP on Bitcoin. Look at money flow starting to come out here. A little bit concerned on this SFP because it was so damn shallow. And more importantly, share it with your friends. Yeah, please, guys, share it if you think you have a friend that would be interested in technical analysis or live trading. But we have such a great community. All of you guys in here that show up on a day-to-day basis, I appreciate all of you guys so much. And, you know, we have some great live streams together. Let's check Ethereum. I'm willing to get stopped out on this long that I just entered and re-enter if we come down to the naked weekly or the daily level at 29.66. 29.67, let's say. It's right in here at the bottom of the box. What would be nicer to see is to break this high right there at 3,005. That'd be a nice 12-minute break in market structure. So if we can break market structure bullishly on the 12-minute and then see a retrace to the golden pocket, you could add to the long here, or you could long there. Yeah, it looks weak, TXRX. I agree. It looks weak right now. Yeah, wish it was 98, right? Me too. Yeah, that would be a good long trade. But we are seeing the technical. I mean, look at these bull divs here. Money flow curving to the upside. Bull divs, money flow curving to the upside, crossing into the green on NAMI. As we were coming down to hit, at least on Bybit, we hit the naked weekly point of control, and it's in the zone of our golden pocket. If we can break this high at 3,005 and come down to the golden pocket, you would have a nice little 12-minute left shoulder, head, right shoulder, a little inverse head and shoulders bottom reversal pattern here too, which would be kind of nice to see. Actually, yeah, let's put that back on. CJ, welcome in, man. Anyone remember when BTC was at 98K and I was yelling it's a short? Yes, man. Yep. And please don't long. Well, we are looking for scalp longs right now, CJ, but scalp, keyword scalp long opportunities. Because I think you just got in here. Total market cap is at a very key support level, the bottom of the pitchfork in confluence with the golden pocket. And a lot of our coins are at support. Ethereum is at a golden pocket support pulled from the impulse highs, or just the last lows to the highs. And it's also a naked weekly point of control, a naked daily point of control, a daily right in this area here. And looking for overall continuation to the downside. I'm looking for this as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, but I want to see a small bounce in a wave 4 before ultimately coming down in a wave 5. So scalp long, but scalp long to here, to $3,020. That's it. And if we start to reject from VWAP, I will TP1 at VWAP. Oh, yes. Yeah. You know, CJ, we see it every time. We saw, just like today, right now, we're seeing a bunch of shorts. Look at this. We're still seeing shorts come in at the bottom here. People are shorting the bottom of a 7-hour dump, 6-hour dump, straight red dump on the 6-hour chart. And they're shorting the bottom of it. The past, since 3 hours or so, shorts coming into the market. They are fresh shorts that are coming into the market right now. Guys, this is a recipe for a short squeeze. If we can start to break these local highs, this little range in here, if we can start to break some local highs right in here, you could start to see a short squeeze. And so what would we be looking for is, obviously we'd start pushing up in price action, but your shorts getting stopped out would be a market buy. So you'd see the CVD rising here because your shorts getting stopped out as a forced buy, and then we would see open interest dropping here. So we could see a short squeeze relatively soon here. And we're starting to at least see some sort of exhaustion in the selling that throughout the day today. This is Bitcoin. Let's check Solana real quick. Did Solana get back above? So Solana still hasn't, guys, about 128.1 is going to be the key back test on Solana. If we come up here, we back test this and reject, I do think we're going to come down to 125 because 125 was the weekly, it was a daily, it was a naked weekly point of control and a naked daily point of control. And I will look to long 125 to 123 because we will have some bull divs on the chart. And then on Chainlink is at support, but once again, we're still looking on Chainlink to see if we're going to backtest the value area low at 12.4, let's say 12.42. And if we do, on the day's price action, reject that, then I do think we will come down and take that liquidity right around 11.97. And I think it would be healthier to come down to take that liquidity too, because it's pretty much a double bottom. Like this was so close to it. So we have liquidity resting below these lows. $29.70 is the yearly open for Ethereum. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Full Port. That's in our support zone. That's in our really important support zone, right? The naked weekly's at 29.75 and the daily level's at 29.66. So it's a zone of support, and knowing that the yearly open is here, really awesome. Let me see. Do I still have that on the chart? MTF key levels, support and resistance. Guys, this is a really nice tool to use. It's called MTF key levels, support and resistance. You can look at previous week highs, weekly opens, previous day highs, previous day lows, previous month open. So we're also at the previous month open right now. And you can even look at yearly levels as well on this thing. Go into settings, yearly level. So yearly open. Yeah, yearly open is just below us. Actually, the yearly open's pretty much at 29.67, right where that daily level's at least on the Coinbase chart. It's at 29.67. So that's really awesome. By the way, this can give you the not only the daily VWAP, but you can choose the weekly VWAP as well. You can choose what you want to put on there. So, weekly VWAP is yellow, monthly VWAP purple. Daily VWAP is where the previous week low was. All right. Guys, I do got to get going here, but we're at support. So know that we're at support. We do have some bull divs down here, but I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be surprised if we make one more low on the day. Not only on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin barely SFP'd that low. It would be healthier to come down to make one more low, but still overall, I'm expecting. So we're at support pretty much on Solana, pretty much on Chainlink, pretty much on Bitcoin and Ethereum. XRP, I want to come a little bit lower. I want XRP to come to 184. 184 is a daily level and a naked daily point of control. And it would be the swing failure pattern of the weekend lows into that 184 level. And it's pretty much exactly at 184. So if we could get that, that could be nice. And look at this liquidity trail that is being created. So if we keep doing this until we come down to the daily, hit that, start to break that up, we could squeeze up very quickly on XRP. Can you draw a channel on BTC on the last hours? It seems the daily VWAP is at the top of the channel. Yeah, let's check BTC. I'm just going to go to this chart. Last hour. So what I would look at is this local downtrend. So I'd go from that high to that lower high, and I'd bring it down to that, well, that first low, but it's not working. So we bring it here. That's the channel I'd look at right there. That's kind of your trend. And you can see the midline is being respected for the most part. So, and look at where we could come up to the midline, reject, and then come down one more time to grab those lows into the bottom of the channel. And then we would want to flip that midline, start to break this up and, break up here. But I would pull it from this high to this lower high down to this low. Right? So parallel channel, high, lower high, low. That would be the first one, but you can see there's a lot of deviation. And actually this is the base channel here. And you can see we broke out of the base channel, bearish back test. Because we rejected, we made new lows, right? If you lose the channel, you bearishly backtest it and reject, you expect to make new local lows below these lows. We did. After grabbing the liquidity from those local lows, we pushed up to the midline, then kind of pushed up to the top of the channel. But now we're back outside of the channel again. So if we backtest it right here and reject, we would expect to make new local lows. So that's your base channel, but you can also pull that channel and just bring it down to your deviation breakout low, and you're kind of chopping around inside the channel still. And the bottom just becomes the midline pretty much. Man, we are printing a hidden bear div here on the 12-minute. Let me check the 15-minute. Okay, no hidden bear div yet, but it does look like to me that Market Cypher is wanting to roll over on the momentum and the money flow. Guys, we might make another low locally here. We might make another low. I just want Ethereum. All right, Ethereum. Yeah, look at that money flow starting to come out now on the 1 hour chart and on NAMI as well. And it just looks like I just entered a long because I set a limit order to enter long right at this area, 29.44, with my stop below the naked weekly at 29.72. And I'm looking to take it ultimately up to 31.20, 31.19, 31.20. So I just entered long, but if I get stopped out, that's fine. I'll re-enter if I need to. I can re-enter if we take out those lows, get it even better stop loss, and still I would be looking to come up 17-1 risk reward. So I'll lose 1%, but I have the possibility of making 17% if it plays out. Even if I just go to VWAP, 10%, a 10, let's just be safe, a 9-to-1 risk reward ratio. So I'm okay taking a loss and losing 1% if I can get in it again and make, significant portion more. But you guys, I do got to get going. I appreciate all of you so much. I will be live on Thursday as well at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for those of you that are new, I do videos Mondays and Wednesdays at market close, whatever time that is for you, at market close, and post it, so it posts about an hour, maybe an hour and a half after market close, depending on how long the video is. And then on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I do a live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please come join me and let's keep hitting these trades together. Let's keep building these portfolios and just, keep doing our thing. But I love you all, and I will see you soon.